I know there tends to be a bit of a like icky thing about networking. A lot of people say, oh, I don't really want to network. Like, I don't want to do this pitching myself. When I say being strategic, it's being intentional, having a bit of a plan that you approach an event with so that you're not wasting your time having, lots of beer with the wrong people when you're there to find a job. And it can be quite simple, actually. It's just about what's the event? Why am I going there? Who is speaking? Is that an interesting person to talk to? Who's going to be in the audience? Who's sponsoring the event? Who's hosting the event? Just looking at all the information that you can quite easily access and spending half an hour, maybe an hour, coming up with a bit of a plan of who you would like to talk to, what you want to get out of the event. Is it something where you're just going to learn something technical or something about an industry? Or is it to really meet people? How many people? And also, what's your style? Are you quite comfortable approaching people? Most of us aren't. So what are you going to do about that? And that's why being strategic about it just means less time wasted, especially if you're spending, time in the evenings going to event, some of your personal time. You want to be intentional, you want to be strategic about it so that you make the most of your time and of those opportunities so that when you actually then want to connect to a person afterwards and say, oh, actually, you mentioned, you're hiring, I would love to be considered. It's not such a big effort. Like, it's much easier because you have warmed up that conversation. You've created a true connection with them in person, and it all becomes easier. Because at the end of the day, we're all people and we love hearing stories. We want to form a relationship with somebody, even if it's just like a fleeting professional connection, rather than leaving it to chance, being really intentional so that you get the most out of it. And the other people too. I'm not saying it's a one-sided thing. There should be always a give and take, but you can only control what's under what you do. You can't really control what other people do. So that's why I focus on the strategy that people have going into these things.